Caitlin Clark made her first start for Team USA against New Zealand, and the starting lineup was Kelsey Plum, Dearica Hamby, Chelsea Gray, Caitlin Clark, and Monique Billings. Now, it's so interesting if you look at the lineup here, because so many people on social media were joking like, why are you starting Caitlin Clark at power forward? Like, when will this experiment end?
8 months away from the game, coming off an injury, dealing with the flu, barely getting minutes in 4 of the last 5 games, and somehow, Caitlin Clark still ends up as the youngest MVP in FIBA qualifying tournament history. Just pause on that for a moment, because this isn't your typical comeback story. This is what it looks like when a player like Clark simply can't be kept off the court, no matter how much certain coaching decisions seem to try. Today, we're diving into exactly how she pulled this off, the Spain matchup, the numbers that completely took over the tournament, and why 2026 is already shaping up to be a serious problem for anyone going up against the Indiana Fever and Team USA at the World Cup. Drop a comment below and let me know just how proud you are of Caitlin.
MVP of the tournament is none other than Miss Caitlin Clark. It's undeniable the impact she's made on women's basketball, and here in Puerto Rico had quite the showing. Her debut with the senior team is a double-double with both points and assists. And in her senior debut, she wins the TISO MVP at the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup qualifying tournament here in Puerto Rico.
The final matchup against Spain didn't start easy at all. Spain came in prepared with a clear strategy, and for a stretch, it was actually paying off. Their younger lineup was playing fast, attacking the rim, and putting real pressure on Team USA, forcing them out of their comfort zone.
For the Americans, gets the steal and all tournament long. Hamby connects again. Gray showing off her handles. Pull up jumper. Rebound by Dearica Hamby. Hamby goes right back up. Ryan Howard on the wing. Up to Caitlin Clark. Clark from deep.
Awa Pham, who's projected to be a top WNBA draft selection, points and holding her ground against elite level talent. Then you had Yana Martine, only 20 years old, running the offense, setting things up, and playing defense at a level that genuinely had Team USA starters shaken. The game kept swinging back and forth throughout that first quarter, with neither side able to pull away. By the time the second quarter tipped off, the score was completely even, tied, with the Team USA roster that had been dominating every team in this tournament so far. And the whole time, Caitlin Clark was still on the bench.
The starting lineup today for Team USA, and it's no surprise to either of us here that the different starting lineup. Every single one of these games had a different starting lineup, and
every single game featured a different starting 5. And that right there is what had fans going crazy all over social media. In 4 out of 5 games this tournament, Clark wasn't even in the starting lineup. She was coming off the bench. Meanwhile, Spain was right there in the game, the offense looked sluggish, and your best playmaker was just sitting there watching it all unfold. Everyone was asking the exact same thing. Why? Why is your primary floor general not out there running the game? Spain kept switching between a soft box and 1 and zone defenses, and Team USA starters just didn't have a real solution. The ball wasn't moving cleanly, the tempo felt off. Honestly, it looked like they were stuck playing in slow motion.
Gustafson doing the right thing. She knows it's gonna be tough to get to the basket with too many bumps.
The second she checks into the game, everything about the pace instantly changes. Where the starters were getting completely locked down by Spain's aggressive blitz defense, Clark flipped that pressure into quick transition opportunities. She was already reading the defense before it could even settle, hitting kick-out passes with perfect timing, pulling up from deep, almost logo range, and forcing Spain's defenders to pick her up near half court. And when a player is dragging your defense that far out, it completely disrupts your entire structure, and that's exactly where Clark thrives. She knows how to take advantage of that chaos better than anyone.
Ryan Howard on the wing, up to Caitlin Clark. Clark from deep.
One insider close to the team mentioned that Clark is the one who really sparked everything, saying she brings a completely different energy to the offense. And that's not just talk, that's exactly what showed up on the scoreboard. Every major scoring run Team USA went on in that game came while Clark was on the court. The final ended 84-70, but that score doesn't fully capture how tight this game actually was before she took control. Spain came ready. Pham and Martin are legit talents, and honestly, the fact that Clark stepped in and made it all look under control makes it even more impressive, not less.
Give me your first impression of the game.
I thought it was good. I thought we started off a little slow. I thought our second unit came in, it was really good, and then I thought overall in the second half we were pretty good.
How has it been so far with the fans here in Puerto Rico?
It's been great. I thought our game, especially versus Puerto Rico at 8 p.m., was a really fun one for us. The fans have been great. Fans that have come from America have been awesome. So anytime you get to put this jersey on, I think it's a really fun thing. You take a lot of pride in it, and it's a really big honor.
She also ended up logging more minutes than anyone else on the entire Team USA roster in this tournament, not just against Spain, but across the whole run. So think about that for a second. The same player they kept choosing not to start was also the one they simply couldn't take off the court once she checked in.
Spain, one of the best young prospects there is around the world. Kelsey Plum wide open for a three.
Think about this for a second. A player doesn't start in 4 out of 5 games, yet still ends up leading the entire team in total minutes played. That alone should make you pause. But it doesn't stop there. She's also at the top of the team in assists, plus minus, and overall efficiency. That's not just a bench player getting hot for a few games. That's something on a completely different level.
Now it's Caitlin Clark in transition, gets it to Paige Beckers, and Becker.
So let's break down the numbers. Clark averaged 11.6 points per game over those 5 matchups. She also put up 6.4 assists per game, totaling 32 assists across the entire tournament. On top of that, she led Team USA in 2-point shooting percentage, free throws made, and free throw attempts. And she managed all of this while playing more minutes than anyone else on the roster, literally more than anyone. The same player they kept bringing off the bench was also the one spending the most time on the court. And when you put those two facts side by side, it just doesn't add up, unless you actually look at what was happening every time she stepped onto the floor.
Looking to take advantage of a wide open Howard. Can't this time, and Gustafson with the rebound, but she saves it inbounds to Caitlin Clark.
Now, this is where things really start to get interesting. The plus-minus stat. Clark didn't just lead Team USA in that category. She dominated the entire tournament. Every team, every player, every country competing in Puerto Rico. Whenever Clark was on the court, Team USA was outscoring opponents by a gap that no one else in the tournament could match. You can debate roles, systems, and fit all you want, but plus-minus simply reflects what the scoreboard looked like when a player was out there. And in Clark's case, the scoreboard was clearly on her side. The efficiency numbers tell the same story. Across all teams in this tournament, Clark ranked at the very top in efficiency. Not just the best on Team USA, the best out of everyone. And the assist numbers are something you really have to pause and appreciate. 6.4 assists per game in a FIBA qualifying tournament is no joke. At this level, guards are going up against disciplined international defenses that are specifically built to shut down passing lanes. Putting up over 6 assists per game in that kind of environment is seriously difficult. And Clark was doing it while coming off the bench, with fewer early game touches than a starter, yet still creating opportunities for her teammates at that same elite level.
I thought Caitlin's playmaking ability, really kind of got us going, got into a nice rhythm in that second quarter, and scored a lot of points.
And then you look at the free throw numbers, they tell a story on their own. Getting to the line that often means you're being aggressive, creating contact, and putting defenses in tough spots. That's not someone playing a small role and just waiting for clean opportunities. That's a player constantly pressuring the defense and looking to create an edge on every single possession. So when you actually look at the full stat sheet, it tells a pretty clear story. The coaching choices and the numbers were moving in completely opposite directions throughout the entire tournament. The player leading the team in almost every key category was also the same player sitting on the bench for the opening tip in 4 out of 5 games. That kind of contrast is hard to ignore, and once you see the numbers, it's even harder to justify. 8 months away from the court, not starting in most of the games, and she still ends up as the youngest MVP in FIBA qualifying tournament history? Now really think about that for a second. This wasn't FIBA just handing Clark an award because she's the biggest name in women's basketball right now. This MVP came from 5 full games of performance, 11.6 points per game, 6.4 assists per game, plus minus and efficiency numbers that led the entire tournament and weren't even close. Every team, every country, every player that stepped onto the floor in Puerto Rico, Clark outperformed all of them. And on top of that, this isn't even new for her. This is actually her second MVP in a FIBA-sanctioned tournament. The first one came back in 2021 when she led the USA U19 team.
5-star recruit, Gatorade State Player of the Year, Big Ten Freshman of the Year, and a 2-time gold medalist. All of these belong to Caitlin Clark. But the Iowa basketball star added another goal to her collection today after Team USA's title game win in the FIBA U19 World Cup. In a repeat of 2 years ago, Clark and Team USA defended their crown, defeating Australia 70-52 in the gold match game, giving the national U19 women's team their 9th title, and Clark her 3rd gold medal. Following a solid performance in the semis, the Team USA captain tallied 9 points, 8 assists, and grabbed 8 rebounds in the final, while being named the tournament's most valuable player. And it was well-deserved, as the sophomore guard finished with 100 points through 7 World Cup games.
So she's done this before at an even younger age, and now she's done it again, coming off a major injury, dealing with constantly changing lineups, and coaching decisions that didn't exactly make things easier along the way. 8 months away from the game, coming off the bench in 4 out of 5 games, and Clark still led the entire tournament in plus minus and efficiency, then walked away with the MVP, the youngest ever. That's not an underdog story. That's just what happens when you finally let her run the offense. Indiana Fever fans, Team USA fans, Puerto Rico wasn't the peak, it was a preview. Because when Clark has control, the ceiling for both teams becomes something we haven't fully seen yet. Now imagine that with a full green light. The 2026 World Cup in Berlin is coming fast, and right now, nobody has an answer. So let me know in the comments how proud you are of Caitlin and what you think comes next.